We do have mods because this is the safest place on the planet for a member in the visible community to be. Amy and I were talking on the phone earlier today, and it's really kind of funny. I don't need mods because y'all on the and who watch in the comments tend to take care of any problems that arise before a mod can get to them. Dixie mentioned subscribers. Anything I receive from TikTok for subscribers goes to dog and cat treats for the local animal shelter. A few weeks ago, we went and we spent $156 in dog and cat treats. It was great. We did a subscriber live and everybody told me what to buy and they got to choose and we did it. And we're going to go do that again on, I believe, on Friday. We're going to do a live on Friday again. And we actually have $145 right now to spend again on the kittens and the cats and the dogs and the puppies at the animal shelter. So any gifts that are sent to me will go straight to that tonight. So that'll add right to it. So, or if you subscribe, anything I get from subscribers, like I said, goes there too. All right, that's my sales pitch. My rules. If you've been to a live of mine, you probably know these, so just hang tight. So what'll happen is there's no politics on my lives. There's 10,000 some odd channels on TikTok that deal with lives. And thank you, Carmen. And if you want, I love that one, the little butt. That's so cute. Thank you. So I can direct you to talk politics if that's what you want. I can send you places and I'll be happy to, but just don't do it here on my lives. And no drama, please, no drama. The only drama llamas that are allowed is the little one that shows up on the screen and its neck's like this tall and it's really cute. That is it. Besides that, no drama. We have enough as invisible people. We have enough drama between doctors and society and family and friends at times. Let's keep this a safe place. Is all I would ask. You'll see me do this quite often, and I'm doing one or two things. Be open and honest. I'm drinking a bottle of Topo Chico water, and TikTok does not like me to drink water on screen because they try to kick me off, or I'll be having some nicotine, and that I know will get me kicked off of it. So that's where I'm going. I'm still here. I can still hear and talk, but you just won't see me. And I think that's about it. We had several people today that I know had surgery today. And a lot of people had big doctor's appointments and multiple doctor's appointments. I don't know how a lot of them went. I know one surgery went pretty good from what I've heard. So let's keep them all on our thoughts tonight, if you would, because we've all been there, right? All right. You doing okay, Amy? Have I put you to sleep yet?
No, you haven't put me to sleep yet.
Right. So tonight,
though, I did take a nap earlier. I'll be 100% honest with you. I took a nap earlier, so
that is good.
Okay.
So tonight, a couple of things tonight. Number one, the second big part of this tonight will be victory celebration. So if you have them, hang on to them. So because I want to get all the victories tonight because it's been a while since we've done victories. And if you didn't hear earlier, starting tonight, every Tuesday night will be a victory celebration. Every single Tuesday. We need to get back in the habit of celebrating everything from walking the dog to and seeing the grandkids to finding a unicorn doctor because they are all important. And Ash, yes, we can normalize taking naps. Please. I vote for that. But first, I kind of want to, we've had a lot of new people come around lately, and I want to get into real quick, and I will be brief because I don't want to bore anybody, just kind of invisible, where did it start and what is it and everything like that. I don't claim ownership to the terms invisible patient and invisible community, invisible illness, invisible anything like that. Though I may claim ownership to invisible no more because that's what I think we are, what this community to me is. I went back and I looked at my videos, and October 30th of 2023 was my very first post I did trashing Dr. Israel Pena, Granbury, Texas, who to me was the worst pain doctor I've ever experienced in my life. And before that, I'd been posting nothing but videos about our homeless outreach in Vegas. I had about 700 followers, and like overnight, I had like 1,500 followers because that video trashing Dr. Pena blew up. To me, that's where Invisible No More started. So this is almost a year old. So it started from that. What is this invisible community, invisible no more community, I have a definition that I came up with. I'm going to have to read it. Because it's kind of long, but it's good. To me, the invisible community is a group of individuals with varied invisible diagnoses that have come together to share their lives, their lived experiences, so that others in the community can be a little more successful, as well as so others in the community know they are seen, they are heard, and they are loved. That, to me, is what this invisible no more community is.
Yeah.
Live and breathe it. And there's between 7,000 and 10,000 people, invisibles now, that I've been in contact with. And it's 7,000 to 10,000 people that love each other and accept each other and support each other and promote each other. How awesome is that? I think it's crazy. I really do. I started doing lives with a guy, Jacob. I'm sure a lot of you guys know Jacob. The problem was the lives were in the afternoon, and my ailments wouldn't let me do it in the afternoon because that's really bad times. So I started doing lives at night with Amanda. That progressed into Thursday nights, Invisible No More, right? And that's the show that we do where we have one person come on and share their story. And that has really been an incredible live event on a weekly basis. And we are getting back to that starting last week. It's going to continue. So that's what that is. I'm trying to think what else did I want to touch on. I'm nothing special, y'all. I'm just Keith. I'm disabled. I have chronic back issues, chronic nerve issues, chronic pain issues, and now I have a white fuzzy growth in the back of my head.
You should name it.
Fred. I'm going to call it Fred.
Listen, I have named cysts and tumors in my body. I have named them all, and it works. It works. I'm telling you.
I just want to name for it, for what it is. So when I'm cussing it out, I'm not having to like cuss you stupid mama blah white fuzz spot in the back of my head that I don't know what it is. All right, give me a name.
That's why you got to name it. You have to name it. I named mine a horrible, ugly name that I didn't like so that I could yell at it all the time with this horrible, ugly name.
Maybe we should take a poll. What should I name this in the back of my head? You know?
It works.
So the invisible movement started with these lives, and it kind of went further into me doing videos and other people doing videos together, and that went into projects, right? We did the Grief Project, which was a lot of people got involved in. When we set that up, we had 4 people that had agreed to do all 5 stages, and it was over 15 by the time it was done, right? Then we just wrapped up a really difficult project, the Bias Project. And again, we started with 4 people, and there was 15 to 20 ladies that joined that all by themselves and shared their story. Very painful, very powerful, though, because a lot of people learned a lot. So coming up in November, we're going to do something right now. It's just tentatively called Project Hope. And so throughout November, we're going to do different things like celebrate victories all the way through November. And then we're going to do like the videos people are going to produce. We're going to ask people to start sharing their things. Like, did you find your unicorn doctor? Or did you finally get that test that you wanted and that showed something, that you had something? Did your doctor finally order a procedure for you? Did you play with your kids today? We're celebrating victories all the way through, but we want people to, like on these videos, say, this is where I was and this is where I'm at. And the object is to get people, keep giving hope and motivation to keep searching for that doctor or that treatment or whatever it is, and not give up. Because if we give up, that's a bad thing, right? But it's so, so easy. When I left Dr. Israel Pena in Granbury, Texas, that was tough. But this community encouraged me to do it. And that's what we want to do with this whole project. So Zena says, found Unicorn Doc and getting new labs done tomorrow. There you go. That's awesome. So some of these projects, like this, like we just finished Bias, and Amy was part of that. But I met Amy because the Grief Project. Amy is one of the credible people that decided to do it on their own without telling anybody. I got tagged in it, and that's how I saw it. You did 3 videos like the first day. You caught up like the first day.
Yeah.
So, which is crazy because that's a lot of mental work to do in one day.
I did one
so
in the morning and then one in the evening. I didn't do them right after another.
It was intense. Ask anybody, y'all, that took part in that and doing those videos. It was a lot. It was a lot to do those videos. There were times, like on steps 3 and 4, I didn't open my app till late in the day because I knew I had to do it, and I wasn't ready to do it. So, but it was important. I think a lot of people got a lot of good stuff out of that.
I think so.
So that's where I ran into Miss Amy and got her story in the Grief Project. And then Amy stepped up and said, okay, I'll do the Bias Project. And we were like, are you kidding? Because you know what the Grief Project was like. And she was like, oh, yeah, I'll do it. and Amy has been between this, done a lot of good videos on being invisible and what it's like. And part of this new stuff that's coming up for like this 1-year anniversary is I've asked people, and if they want to get involved, send a message, speak up, let us know. And Amy is one of the people that did. And so I think we're going to start seeing a lot more of Amy, I hope, if we don't scare her off tonight, because she puts out a lot of good stuff, and Amy brings stuff from different perspectives that I can't do. No. And I think we want to keep the community growing, but at the same time, I can't speak to a lot of things like she can. And you and Amanda share different points of view as well. So, right. I mean, we want to get the wide variety so we can mirror everybody else in the community. Boy, yeah. that sounds deep, but it's true, right?
It's true. I mean, yeah. Everybody has different perspectives and all the things. So.
Maria, no, Amanda had a meeting tonight, so she couldn't be here tonight. So, where is everyone at? I'm in Texas. Amy, where are you? I forget.
I'm in Tennessee.
Tennessee. That's right. Mm-hmm. Go Vols. Yeah. Beat Alabama. Thank you.
My husband's a Bama fan, so that's a rough subject in our house right now. I am not a football fan, but he is diehard Bama, so it has been a rough week. We're taking it easy on him.
I'm diehard Rocky Top. I'm sorry, but we can both be happy that Georgia beat Texas.
That is something we can all agree on.
Yes, we can. So, so you found the invisible community, right?
I did.
So basically, when you found the invisible, what did you think?
I was a silent watcher for a long time. I was very skeptical about coming into it, but I was very hopeful because, I've said in videos before, but I don't have anybody in my life that has a chronic illness or who is disabled. I don't have any friends. Like, I didn't grow up with anybody who is sick. In my life now, I don't have anybody that has health issues or is disabled. So I didn't have anybody that I could talk to or just relate to or bounce ideas off of. And so when I joined TikTok back in 2020, I didn't find the invisible illness community until like 6 months ago. And so I've been bouncing around, finding different things. And when I found it, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Like, this is great. I'm finding people who are going through similar things in me and they're offering advice and blah, blah. And so I was a silent watcher. I had watched a couple of your lives. I would come here and there, but I would never comment. I would never say anything. And then I started following people more. And I was like, oh, they're just like me. And then suddenly people reaching out to me saying, oh, hey, welcome. I saw that you've been in our lives lately, or I've seen that you've liked my videos, or like, what's going on with you? And like the people that were just reaching out, like unprovoked. And I was like, oh, wow, this is like a really welcoming community. And I just like slowly dipped my toe in the water. And, when I first started making TikToks, I didn't make them talking about my illness at all because I don't talk about this in my real life. Like, nobody hardly knows anything about my health in my family because I don't talk about it.
Right.
And so I was very scared of being judged or not listened to or not validated. And then as like people reached out and I would make a video talking about my illness and all of a sudden it would like get more likes than any of my other videos from the invisible illness community. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, maybe I can talk about my story and people will listen or people care and they can offer advice to me and I can offer advice to them because I've been doing this for a long time. And, it's just nice to have people who understand and know that you're not alone. Like for me, that has been the most comforting thing, than anything else, is just knowing that there's other people who are going through what I'm going through and it's okay.
And I think it makes it, this is going to sound so corny, but it makes me feel so good inside because that's what invisible, that's one of the foundations of invisible. I'm going to say invisible no more. You're going to hear me say invisible or invisible no more. I get lazy and just say invisible. But to me, that's one of the foundations, is to let people know they're not alone, and then let people know they're seen, they're heard, and they're loved.
Yeah.
Right. And hearing you say that you didn't feel alone anymore with it, that is just, that means as a community, we're doing all of this and it's working.
Right.
And I think it doesn't solve your illness. It doesn't end the chronic pain, but I think it lifts a lot of the burden off our shoulders to know that I'm not the only one that deals with this.
Yeah.
And
how I'm dealing with it is okay. Mm-hmm. I feel like whenever I'm upset for how I'm feeling and then everybody around me is healthy and fine, and they're like, oh, you're just being dramatic, it's fine. And then I watch a video of somebody else going through something and they're expressing their emotions. I'm like, yes, okay. Validation. I'm like, I think I said this in a video recently. I'm like, I don't know if it's the gaslighting and the medical trauma, but validation is so important to me. Like just hearing validation from one other person makes me feel so much better about everything. I'm like, okay, I'm not alone. Great. Perfect. I'm not crazy.
And it's like when you go to a good doctor and they finally listen to you.
Yeah.
Right? It's the same type of, to me, it's the same type of feeling.
Yeah.
Is to know that the validation is that important. Yeah. It's kind of like I want my doctors to tell me, if they don't know, just tell me you don't know instead of gaslighting me, right? Yes. Or, but if they ask a question about what's going on with me and they mean it, that's priceless. And I think that's what this invisible community does for each other as well. Like you just said, it lets us know that these thoughts that we have, that we're processing, even the I don't knows, and then I think on the other side of the spectrum, I've seen it in action on the Thursday nights Invisible No More, where we're interviewing that one person, right? Where they've dropped a little bit of tidbit of something they've tried that worked for them. And I've seen people take that and run with it and come back like 2 weeks later. Hey, I was on this live and this person said this, and I never thought of that. And I tried it with my doc, and guess what? They listened to me for a minute. It was crazy, but it worked. And so if we can help each other, that's when I said in that definition, help each other be a little bit more successful, right? Absolutely. And that's just another huge, huge bonus. So what makes you qualified to be a card-carrying member of the invisible community?
Oh my gosh. I said this to you earlier when I talked to you. I feel like I should have rehearsed what I was going to say because I haven't really thought about this all day. So I feel a little underprepared. But I will make it as short as I possibly can, I promise.
Shorter as long as you need.
But so essentially, I'm 35 years old now, and I started having issues when I was 15. Essentially, I woke up one day and had a migraine. And I have had migraines in the past. My father has migraines, so we have a family history of it. And so I didn't think anything of it. Well, the migraine has never gone away since. The next day I woke up with migraine, the next day, same intensity. It was horrible. And mind you, during this time, like I'm a sophomore in high school, I'm playing volleyball year round. Like I'm a very active kid. And so nobody really took any of it seriously at the beginning. They were like, well, you're just probably exhausted from playing, like from sports and school. Like, you'll be fine. Just take a nap on the weekends. It's not going to be a big deal. Well, whenever a migraine persists for a long period of time, eventually they have to take it kind of seriously. And so we went to a pain interventionist in town, and they ran the whole gamut of imaging, and everything came back normal. And so I've tried to get my hands on these reports, and I cannot, which I think is very telling, because I always wonder if there was really normal or not, but whatever. I guess
Can I ask real quick? Have you gone to the place that did the tests to get the reports from them? Mm-hmm. You did, and they still won't do it, huh?
Mm-hmm. And even when I was going through disability, my lawyers submitted requests to get the documents, and they wouldn't release the documents either, which I find, like, they released some of them, but not all of them. Wow. So I don't know. A little suspicious to me, but
that's real suspicious.
I guess there's nothing I can do about it. But so I started seeing a pain interventionist, and through this whole time I was very specific. I said, I have migraines, but I also have this pain in my neck right here, and I could pinpoint exactly where it was. So that's when they started doing the whole gamut of injections, nerve ablations, all the things. And I talked about that in the Bias Project, about how I went through almost 3 years of these monthly procedures with no pain management, like no lidocaine, no type of anesthesia, no nothing. Like I would do one a month. I would go back and get done. And right around 3 years, a new doctor came into town, and he wanted to do everything his way. So he ran the whole gamut of tests again, and he found something. And he said, there's something on your MRI. It looks like you have a cyst or a tumor in your C-spine. It's not supposed to be there. He's like, I don't know if that's causing all your pain, but you need to go see a neurosurgeon and figure out what it is. So the closest place to us was St. Louis, Missouri, which was like an hour and a half. So they have a big hospital there that we went to.
Which one? I'm just curious. I grew up in St. Louis. Just curious.
Barnes Jewish.
Jewish. Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and it's funny now because the doctor I went to was recommended by the doctors that a hospital that I went to earlier, and he turned out to be a world-renowned cervical neurosurgeon that is like the best in the country. And so how I ended up with him, I'm not really sure, but I'm thankful that I did. But he came and he said, yeah, do you have something called a synovial cyst in your vertebrae? And he goes, he's like, on the imaging, it looks like everything's okay structure-wise. So we can just go in and try and pop it and get the fluid out. And I told him, I said, I would rather you just open me up and take it out. And as a 19, at this point I was like 19, and he was like, no, we're not going to open you up for no reason. Like, we'll just stick a needle in there and pop it and drain the fluid. And I was like, okay, well, like, you're the expert here, whatever. So by the grace of God, they went in and tried to pop it, and the cyst wouldn't pop. They couldn't drain anything of it. They tried for an hour. And I was awake during all this. I did have some pain management, but I was awake. And the poor man was just like, I don't understand why this isn't draining. Like, this is so weird. Like, this isn't normal.
I couldn't imagine being awake and hearing them complain because they can't do their job. I'm like,
Yes.
oh, what a
I was
nightmare.
laying there and they're like, okay, I'm so sorry. A little bit more
Oh,
pressure. We're going to try again. And I'm like, I'm sorry, what? You're, and they're talking about it like amongst themselves saying, this is so weird. I wonder why we can't get any fluid out. I wonder why. And I'm like, can you not talk about this while I'm right here? Like, can you not? I'm like, what is happening?
what a nightmare.
It was it was looking back now, it's hilarious, but then it was not hilarious.
I mean, the only way I'm sorry I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm not
No,
laughing at your suffering. I'm not laughing at any of that. I just can't process it without laughing
no, it's
because
hilarious.
there's no way in hell they would do that to their own family member. There is no
No,
way they would do that to their family member. And
no. And like I'm laying there trying to remain calm, and I'm like, the whole time I'm thinking, I told you guys not to do this. I told you this wasn't going to work. I don't know why. Call it girls' intuition. I don't know. I told you. So I'm like this like sassy 19-year-old. I was like, I told you this wasn't going to work. I told you. Whatever. So
God, what a
anyway,
nightmare.
after an hour, they gave up. So they had to schedule me. They're like, well, listen, we'll just open you up, go in and take the cyst out. Like, it's not a big deal. So we ended up scheduling surgery for the day after Christmas that year. And obviously, I don't know how this happened. I've just been told secondhand. But I went in for surgery. They opened me up and realized that it had gone sideways real quick. And so they called down to my parents and said, hey, we can wake her up and get her permission because technically she's over 18. So we need to do a fusion like right now. Should we wake her up and get her to sign the papers, or are you guys willing to take on the responsibility? And my parents said, don't wake her up. Like, just do what you need to do, figure it out. So apparently this synovial cyst had acted like a Pac-Man and had eaten away all the bone and cartilage in my C2 and C3.
Oh
So they said between the two vertebrae, there was about 20% left of the bone. And they said, had I gotten hit with a volleyball one more time or been in a car accident, I would have been paralyzed. So they had to do an emergency fusion and fuse everything up. So that was interesting to wake up to because I thought I was just going to have a minor surgery. And then I woke up in a full neck brace and they were like, listen, so sorry.
Oh, by the way,
we had to fuse your spine. But so they did the fusion. Then I went for my 6-month follow-up. And I always preface these stories by, I was a bratty teenager. Okay. So I thought I knew everything in the world. And in some cases I did. But I told this doctor, I said, I went back for my 6th month and he said, how's everything? And I said, it's not good. Something's wrong. I don't know what it is. Like the pain is excruciating. There's something wrong in there. And he assured me that he is the best neurosurgeon there is. There's nothing wrong with it. And I would not let him leave that room until he did more imaging because I was convinced. And so he reluctantly agreed to do imaging. He told me it would be a waste of my time. You weren't going to find anything, whatever. On our way home from St. Louis, it takes about an hour and a half drive to get home. He called us and said, I'm not going to say you're right, but there's something wrong.
of course he won't say.
No, and he never did the whole time. But they had put in, during the fusion, they had put in cadaver bone to fill the space with the screws. And apparently my body did not like the cadaver bone, so it rejected it. And so there was a hole there where the cadaver bone was supposed to be. And so a couple months later, they went back in, took the screws out, put bigger screws in, and then filled it with cement. And fast forward about 6 more months, I go back to my next follow-up, and he says, how are you doing? And I said, there's something wrong. And he goes, no, there's not. And I said, I don't know what it is. I said, I feel like the screws are trying to come out of my neck. I can feel them when I push on my neck. Something's wrong. And he said, there's nothing wrong. You're fine. But I know how you are. So we're going to order imaging, whatever. Same thing happened. We almost get home. He gives me a call and he says, well, gosh darn it, Amy, you are my most complicated patient I've ever met. Why do we keep doing this? And I said, what happened? My body was rejecting the screws. So it was pushing out all the hardware, and it was about 60% out of the bone. So they had.
Thank God he listened to you. Thank God he listened to you. I mean, I can imagine like some doctors I've dealt with would have just blown it off and convinced me.
I think the only reason he listened is because I was right the first time. Because on that next appointment, he was like, listen, I know how you are. I know you're going to keep bugging me to do imaging. Like, I'll just do it. Here it is. Like, you're fine, but here's your imaging that you want done. And so he was like, I don't know why your body is pushing these screws out. This isn't normal. He was like, this has never happened to me in my 30 years of doing this. I've never had anybody happen like this before. So they went back in and took all the screws out and filled it with cement. So now I have a fusion, but with no hardware. It's all just cement in there. But yeah, that was the process. And after that happened, I thought everything was solved. I didn't realize I was going to lead down the road of chronic pain and all these other issues. But that is where the majority of everything happened. And, it caused, I think, from all of the surgeries and the procedures and everything, just all the nerve damage in my neck, is just kind of, you can't really fix that at this point. There's so much scar tissue and so much damage that it's caused radicular arm pain and nerve damage and all the things. And along the way, I've got diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis. And most recently, I got diagnosed with POTS.
Oh, wow.
Which has been the real problem child, to be honest, lately. But ultimately, that's kind of where all of my medical problems started, and the reason that I've been on chronic pain medication for, I've been on daily chronic pain medicine for almost 12, 13 years now, like daily. Wow. Yeah. And mind you, this whole time, like, I'm going to college. I'm, trying to push through this and pretend none of this is happening. And like, I went and got my bachelor's in exercise science. I went to physical therapy assistant school. I don't know how I graduated any of that, by the grace of God. And I worked as a physical therapy assistant for about 5 years before I finally had to come to my senses and be like, yeah, this isn't going to work.
Can you imagine pushing through with that kind of pain and doing finals in college and just trying to be a kid in college?
I don't really know how I did it, to be honest with you. I don't have a lot of memories of my time in college. And I don't know how I did it. I mean, even to this day, I've had, even throughout college, I had professor after professor tell me, you're not going to make it. You need to cut your losses. You're not going to have a career with all your health issues. There's just no way. And I was determined to prove them wrong. I was determined. I was a very stubborn child. I had these plans in my life that I was going to do, and I was going to do them come hell or high water.
I think that's where that type of energy. I wouldn't call it anger for you, but
I would.
maybe, I know that for me, that turned into anger, and that's what
Yeah.
got me away from Pena. Was
Yeah.
I was not going to let him win, right? And
Right.
and when I use the term anger, people sometimes get upset at me. It's like, I'm a nice person. I don't yell. I don't scream.
Right.
It's like, no. You don't have to take
Mm.
that anger as like, "Rawr," just use it as self-determination. I
Yeah.
am not going to let this happen.
Yeah.
And, I think that's an important, I don't know. I think that's a very common thing. A lot of people will get to that point finally. And,
Yeah.
just be like, I'm done. Something has to change.
Yeah.
Something has to change. Um, One of the things that I didn't mention earlier, I don't think I did, but these migraines that I'm dealing with right now has developed this like peanut butter brain where sometimes I have to like focusing to get the words out, right? So if I mentioned this earlier, I'm sorry. I said, earlier that I think everybody's going to start seeing you produce more and do more stuff for the invisible community. Hopefully, I'm going to be able to talk to Amy about helping us do more lives. The goal for Invisible is to have lives Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And the purpose behind the lives would be so if we're having a bad night, if we're dealing with pain insomnia, if bad doctor's appointment, if things just aren't going well,
Yeah.
that everybody in the invisible community knows they have a safe place they can go and just say, hey, and know that they're met with love and with care and with respect and honesty, and know they have a safe place to go.
Yeah.
So I meant to say that earlier, but I just, like I said, my brain, I'm having to kind of push through some stuff right now. So,
Yeah.
well, you are definitely qualified to carry um, the invisible card. It's I'm sorry, I wish none of us had the membership card,
It makes for a good story.
it
So,
makes for a good story, you know. Um, but like you said before, you're not alone.
no.
There's 50 some odd people sitting here that, and it's like we talk about so often on Thursday nights, when we have different people come in and tell their story. Our diagnosis is important to us and our family and our care team, but I, with my chronic pain and possible mental health issues, I can relate to a lot of stuff that chronic illness people go through simply because they've been gaslit just like I have. They've been lied to just like I have. They've had family that don't believe them when they say something's wrong, you know. I think this is going to be good. I think that's what works, and why these lives, if we can do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, be a safe haven for everybody during the week, is eventually where we're going to go to. So
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's going to be good. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be good. So does anybody have questions for Miss Amy tonight, or have questions for me about what's going on in the book, in the planning stages of your community? And when I say invisible no more or invisible community, y'all, I'm not talking that this is my community, right? This isn't me. This is all of us. This is thousands upon thousands of people who own this. I'm just a dude in Texas, you know. So if you have suggestions, or if you want to start doing lives, or you want to do stuff and you have questions, just send a message. We want people to be involved. We want this to be a safe haven, right?
Yeah.
Because it's, as you said earlier, the feeling of knowing that you're not alone is priceless in a lot of ways. You
Yeah.
know, So yeah, I feel invisible when I'm surrounded by people too. That's why I typically just choose to stay by myself. So it's weird tonight on the technical side back here, y'all. TikTok, normally it just blocks out comments that the AI says are against community standards, but tonight it's showing them to me. And one of them, and it's letting me approve or not approve. This would have been blocked by TikTok. Joe said, a dude in Texas that cares and loves the invisible community. AI wanted to block that as a community violation. I had to approve it. Go figure. So, and Dixie, you just said you're unblocking. Oh, well, no, you're not. I'm going to have to unblock you because that one got caught up too. It's crazy tonight. I don't know what's going on.
That's so weird.
So, yeah, I don't know why. So if it's, I don't know, TikTok's been a little messy tonight. I shared several people's stories today, not stories, but videos today. And TikTok notified me that they were taken down for community, that my sharing was taken down for community violations, but their video stayed up. Couldn't appeal it, nothing. Just flag me, just flag me. And bullshit, you're right. And I am one of those profiles that trigger the algorithm, and I don't know why. I don't know why. It's
they're just jealous.
Maybe it's the Texan in me. It could be simply the Texan in me. Right?
I think all of us kind of wing and wave with how we're feeling. I mean, some of us are doing better than others, and then we fall, and somebody else is doing better, and it just, we need to connect to more people so that we can continuously have, somebody there to kind of help pick us up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because it's hard. It's hard when we're down and everyone's down, and we don't know how to get back up.
Yeah, and just having it's like Amanda on our phone call today when you were talking about your pain doctor, and I was not being the most empathetic person on the planet.
No, you're exactly who I needed, though. That's why I called you, because I knew you would be honest with me, and
yeah. It wasn't that I was trying to be an ass. I was just like, maybe look at it from this point of view. And then I said that, and I'm like, oh shit. I wasn't the loving, kind person at that point. I was like,
I know, like, I do the same for you.
I know you do all the time, but you're rude about it when you do it. So
I'm not such a bitch.
You are. You so are. I'm nice.
This is why we're a family,
right? Yeah. For real.
This is it.
Thursday Night Live is going to be good. Has anybody talked about Thursday Night Live?
No.
Not yet.
We are having a woman named Jet on.
Name who?
Jet is what she goes by. And she had meningitis. Like I had meningitis, and so we had connected on that. But she also has CRPS and some other issues going on. So it's going to be a really good live Thursday night for Invisible No More.
Awesome. I think, just as a reminder, for now, y'all, Invisible No More is on and will be on Amanda's page.
Oh.
For now. Well, you've got a guest host this week, right?
I will.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of hard for you to be on my page with the guest host.
I mean, I don't have to.
No, that's all lined up. I thought that was all lined up. So, and honestly, right now, with the way these headaches I have right now, it's probably best.
Keith needs a night off, and that's okay.
So, I hate to sound like a butthead, but it's just, yeah, it's best,
Yeah.
So,
because if I keep the masks up for so long.
Well, here's the thing: when we have guests like that on, I want to be able to give it 110%, and I can't when I'm pushing through one of these headaches, and I don't want to be rude. And if I can't focus to where it needs to be, then it's best that I not get in there and screw it up, because I will screw it up. I screw a lot of things up. So, which on a totally random subject, y'all, if I have told you something, like ask you if you want to be on or alive or something, and you don't hear back from me, message me. You have to stay on top of me, especially right now, because my memory is crap. And don't take it personal if I space something, because it's not you. It is 100% me, because my memory right now is not any good with some stuff. So that's come up recently. So I wanted to make sure everybody knows you got to keep messaging me, please, because I don't want to forget things, and especially commitments. So message me, please. So,
Yeah.
all right, that's all I had to throw in there. So here comes Buck says, why doesn't have Invisible No More have its own page? There's a couple of reasons, but one of the reasons is it's as easy as everybody thinks it would be to have everybody shift over to a page. It's not.
Right.
It's not. And we've noticed that in moving Invisible to Amanda's page, some of the viewership went down a little bit until people got in the habit of it being on Amanda's page.
Right.
So if we move it to its own page, it's going to take a while, even more time for it to finally catch, and people figure it out and people find it and build everything back up. But that's why I generally keep no politics on my page. I generally keep it pretty much focused on the Invisible community. My burner account is completely different than what this account is. So I try to keep it that way because I want it focused on this, and it seems to work. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say I have a burner account.
I was like,
I didn't know. I want a burner account now.
I'm like, I want a burner
Maybe I
account.
should have made a burner account for my chickens.
You know, but I mean, because I need to see raccoons occasionally, and my regular FYP doesn't feed me raccoons anymore. So I get raccoons and cute puppies on the burner account. So.
Right.
Tanya, go to Google, set up a brand new Gmail account, okay, and then go using that Gmail new email account. Go to TikTok. You can get a burner account. Trust me, everybody. 90% of the people. I am
looking into a coop cam as we speak.
You know, 90% of the people that block me come back with a burner account. You know, and still stalk me. It's awesome. I live rent free in their heads. It's great. So, even Dixie has a burner account. You know,
damn, I'm so behind on technology and everything.
I just don't think I have the capacity to have another account. And remember,
I don't know. I pretty much need to shut down my Facebook, but I don't know how.
Yeah, I don't use my Facebook.
I haven't been on Facebook since we left the outreach. October last year, so it's a year now. It's awesome. I don't miss it. I don't miss it, not at all. So yeah. Does anybody have any questions for Amanda or Amy about anything? Well, within reason, please. And
let's keep
or anything about
PG-13 in here.
Or anything about this Project Hope coming up in November, where we're going to be celebrating victories all the time, and where we're going to have people do videos like where they were and where they are now with their unicorn, or with the new procedures or the new meds they've got. Ways that you think might be able to inspire people to keep going, you know?
Yep.
So that's really what we're looking for. Just like with the Bias Project and the Grief Project, people doing videos over the weekend and then wrapping it up on a Tuesday night. I hate the term wrapping up because we don't want to end it, but just kind of putting a period for that little time frame, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So, because I'm looking forward to November. I'm not a big holiday fan. Christmas at my house was never really. I got jeans and socks and underwear, right? So, so I'm not really. Yeah. So let's do something fun and keep it lighthearted November, December. That's what we're going to plan on doing. You know, so if you have suggestions, you know, or if you want to maybe think about hosting lives, or if you want other things, just got to let us know.
Yeah.
If you're not following Miss Amy yet, follow Amy, because she's got really, really good content, and we're going to be spamming everybody with her stuff. you know. So talk about posting. Oh, comments on the DEA, Tanya? No, I didn't. Guys, if you haven't left your comments yet for the DEA proposal, I think tomorrow's 2 days left.
I think. I think today was day 2. I think tomorrow's the last.
I think tomorrow's the last day. I would please go leave your comments. Go to Amanda's profile page. Click on her link tree. It's the very first button on her link tree. It takes you right to the registry, right? Then you scroll down and and there's like a green button. I think it was. It says leave comment. Click that. Type to your heart's content. Enter your email address. Tell them if you're a person or corporation or anonymous, and then check the little box. I understand the rules and regulations, and hit submit, and you're done. So please do that. We were hoping to get like 5,000 comments, and I don't think that's realistic right now.
Hit 1,000. I don't know.
And unfortunately, so one day we'll go into another dark side. Amanda's like, Keith, shut your mouth.
October 25th. So there's 3 more days, but don't be like me. Don't be late making that comment. Okay. You guys get out there and comment. Just like we're going to vote. Okay.
No politics. Don't mention vote. Don't mention votes. We can't even do that because I don't want people to get upset. And then, please be nice.
I'm being nice.
Do what you want.
It's important. I didn't say for who.
You can put my name.
Hi, Terry. Right? 864 comments. Okay. That's awesome. But we need a lot more, y'all. A lot more, y'all.
And I wonder why that.
How do I know what you're going to say?
Because you do.
No, I'm just going to shut up.
That's right, bullshit detector.
Dixie just said there's 1,175.
Okay.
And Dixie said no. So that's still not enough. Not enough to get the meeting, right?
Mm-hmm.
So. Well, Tony, they put it out early.
To throw us off.
And then they buried it inside other medications, right? So people wouldn't see it, So that's why there's not as many comments, is because people don't know that it's even out there right now. So that's they got sneaky, But see, now I've got things I can say, and I'm not going to say it.
How many that we've lost, I mean.
Mm-hmm. And we're going to, especially if they cut it 25% or 20%, and, I went through this, 2 months ago trying to get my drugs. And I got lucky this time around, right? But there's no telling what's going to happen in November, December.
I know.
So
it's something that I go through at least every 4 months. Mm-hmm. I cannot pick it. They are completely out. Every pharmacy in the county is out for one time. It was 7 days. And most of the time it's like 2 days. And I've made such good friends with my pharmacist and my tech that they'll put me on the first list. Like the moment they get any in, I'm the first person they call. But I bribe them. Like I take them treats and food all the time to bribe them. Like I'm not above that.
No, you can't be above it.
I mean, I'm just like, it's already happening so much now that I just can't, and like we've talked about this in lives before about trying to stockpile, but that's not always a possibility.
No. It's not. So, because a lot of us,
well, especially when you're under medicated to begin with. I mean,
that's what I was going to say.
How do you stockpile when you're under medicated to begin with?
Right.
Yeah, and that's the biggest problem, Mm-hmm. So, and that's so many of us are under medicated. I got lucky that my doctor agreed to change my meds, so I can get something still. But at the same time, it's still it's not nearly as effective as what the Percocet was. And these I know I'm blessed that I have meds, but these little bitty pills they give me for these 15 milligram oxycodone,
They're so tiny.
I have to cut them in half.
Oh.
So like one's like 2/3, one's a third, one's a crumb. It's yeah.
That's a
I know, and
nightmare.
I have no right to bitch because I have pain meds. I understand that, but I am going to bitch a little bit.
Well, but you're still in pain, so you get it. You get the right. I mean,
so one thing I want to talk about on a live sometime is I told my pain doc about the headaches. I told him that the new meds get it down to about a 5 or a 6, and he's like, "Really? That's it?" And I'm like, "Listen," I go, "I'm fine with the 5 or a 6. I realize we're not going to get it to a 0. Get me to a 5 or a 6, and I can function." And he's like, "Well, it's bad you have to think of it like that, but at least you're being practical, you know." But the problem is, though, with my pain meds, it's not a 5 or a 6 anymore. It's like a 6 or a 7.
yeah,
And it's going to need to be increased. And then I'm going to have the whole nerve stimulator talk again, or the back fusion talk again. And that. And I'm not trashing nerve stimulators. If it works for you, God bless you, use it. If it works for you, just research it first, please. Is all I would ask.
That is one thing I left out of my story, is that I do have a spinal cord stimulator, and I haven't turned it on in well over a year. And my doctor's now on the kick of trying to get it reprogrammed. He's like, "Oh, let's reprogram."
Yeah.
This would be the third time.
I got my reprogram today.
I'm like, what is the reprogramming going to do? So, yeah. And I'm just like, I want it taken out so bad, and like nobody's willing to take it out.
Nope. And they don't tell you that.
Once you get it, like you
don't tell you
my
that.
trial went great.
Mm-hmm. They usually do, because you don't have the batteries in.
So that's always what I've told people. I'm like, listen, if your trial goes great, just err on the side of caution, because once you get it in, you may not be able to get it out.
Yeah.
So, and listen, I know people that it works for, and they love it.
Yeah.
And so I just always tell people, just do your research, make sure that it's right for you, make sure that the trial is seamless.
Yes.
No questions, all the things, because I hate mine.
I hate mine.
Well, the fear for me is, well, I can't have one because I saw my mom have a bad experience, and the psychological wall that's up there that's impossible to break through.
Yeah.
After that I've heard where the leads get, I don't know if calcified is the right calcified, or they can't get them out.
Right. They're scar tissue basically into your spine.
They're there forever, you know. So that's a fear of mine too, you know.
Yep.
And my current, I want to say unicorn at times, pain doc, he knows I would rather have my low back fused than have the stimulator. So
you know what I started calling my doctor? He's not a unicorn, he's a minotaur. Because he treats my pain. He treats my pain, but he could do a little bit better.
He's not quite a unicorn.
He's not quite a unicorn. But he's a mythological creature, because they don't exist either.
I love that we're coming up for names for all these people.
Right?
I love it.
Amanda, did you get into your gummies already?
I just did. Anyways.
Right, that's what I was kind of thinking. You know?
Give me an hour. No.
You'll be in the hot tub and live and black.
Going live again.
So jealous.
All right. Well, I need to go get meds. So on that note, now that we know that Amanda's had her
I've had my medicine, so.
Yes. So any questions one more time for Amy or for Amanda, or about
on it.
about anything?
Of course.
This is your this is your last shot until next Tuesday. You know,
they like my Minotaur comment.
Did you see most of them have had gummies already too? So that puts you in the same wavelength. So,
well, I mean, how do they watch us for an hour and a half, really?
yeah, without gummies. Amy, do you have any parting words for you tonight?
No, I just appreciate you guys thinking of me to have me come on and welcoming me, and I appreciate it so much, and just letting me chit chat with you guys. And if anybody, like, feel free to message me, anybody here that's in our live, like, you know, I've loved connecting with so many people so far, and I usually follow everybody back. So if I don't, yell at me because I'll follow you. Sometimes I just forget. But yeah, shoot me a message. I'd love to get to know everybody better and, you know, just chit chat with everybody. And everybody's been so welcoming. I was so nervous. I told Keith I was nervous, but you guys have been kind. So I appreciate that.
I get nervous every night that we do this. I don't know that it goes away.
Oh, right.
I look for. I mean, I can have a shitty day,
but I look forward to it.
Yeah, that's what I was like. You know? I'm excited, but I'm just like, I don't want to. I don't know. Say something stupid.
Like a Minotaur doctor.
All right, Amanda. Anything Minotaur less for your final thoughts?
Anything Minotaur less. Well, I guess I just want to say thanks for having me on tonight, because I wasn't technically supposed to be here. So I appreciate y'all letting me have a swear, and I love y'all so much. Everybody in our community is amazing, and we all have something really great to offer our community. So keep Keith and I in the works. If you guys have anything to offer, we're going to try to, you know, involve more people and trying to make this all work. So, and also please make a comment. We only have 2 days left. So go to my page right after this. If you haven't already, go to my link tree. It's the first link right there. It's easy peasy.
Yeah. Easy peasy. For me, I was going to say what Amanda just said. Go leave a comment. Thank you, Amy, for being here and sitting through this. And I'm looking forward to having you on more lives. Totally up to you. And Miss Amanda, gummies after you hit disconnect from now on. That's a new rule for you.
They haven't even hit yet.
Whatever.
This is just me.
We support.
So, yeah, I support it. It's higher than a kite.
We wouldn't have got the Minotaur comment otherwise. I mean,
that's true. That's true. Anyway, you guys have a great night. Thank you so much for spending some time with us tonight. Thank you so much for your support. It's been a year. The 30th makes a year, right? So I'm going to say it's been a year. It's incredible, the love and support that this community puts out. And it's just an unbelievable thing that I get to play such a small part in, that you guys accept me for what I am, and you guys put up with me. If you need something, send me a message. If I don't respond to the message, just keep sending them. So TikTok will hopefully push you to the top of the list. And I don't ignore on purpose. It's just I get spacey sometimes. So we have a lot of really good stuff coming up in November. So stay tuned for that. I'm looking forward to kicking that off in, a week and a few days now, right? If you have ideas or you want to be a part of this madness with us and you want to do some lives or you have ideas for projects, please don't be silent. Don't be invisible. Speak up and share. So you guys have a wonderful night. Thank you again. And if you need something, message me. Y'all be safe. I'll have this up on YouTube in about 48 hours. So there you go. All right, guys. Love you guys. Please be safe. See ya.
Bye, y'all.
Peace. Bye.